Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm the development manager here at TCG, and I use she, her pronouns. And I'm just here to say welcome on behalf of TCG, go over a quick housekeeping item, and then we will get into our session for today. So just want to say thank you all for joining us. This session has both captioning and ASL interpretation. And in just a moment, I'll go ahead and drop some instructions in the chat on how to take advantage of those resources. And beyond that, I'm just here to support logistics. So if you have any questions about Zoom, anything at all, really, just feel free to message me privately with the Zoom chat, and I will keep an eye on that and answer any questions there. The only other thing I will say is to please just keep yourself muted when you're not speaking. Please take advantage of the raise hand function if you'd like to speak virtually. And just a note that TCG is both recording and live streaming today's session. So keep that in mind as well. And with that, I will turn it over to our fabulous facilitators.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. So to kick us off, we're going to start with just a brief land acknowledgement. And then when we introduce ourselves, we'll do our individual land acknowledgements. So Zoom, the platform that we're using today throughout the TCG conference, throughout many days nowadays, is headquartered in what is now called San Jose, California, on the traditional lands of the Ohlone and Tamian peoples. And so we acknowledge the lands that Zoom headquarters resides on because the work that we create together, this conference, does not exist in an imaginary void in the digital ether, but it's only made possible because of the physical land and the indigenous people who steward it. And so with that, I'm going to cue our first slide for whenever Annalisa is ready. Hooray! So we are 3/4 of Groundwater Arts. And next slide. Groundwater Arts shapes, stewards, and seeds a just future through creative practice, consultation, and community building. And for us, we define climate justice as racial justice, as economic justice, as a decolonized future. And so we are a half Indigenous, predominantly POC, fully women-led citizen artist collective. And now we're going to take a moment just to introduce the three of us. So as I'm speaking, I will go first. Hische Tera Chochefkados. Hello, my name is Tara Moses. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a citizen of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma as well as Muskogee. I'm calling from the Muskogee Creek Reservation and the site of the 1921 burning of Black Wall Street, which its centennial is next week. And I'm about 1 mile away from the Arkansas River. These lands are the traditional lands, however, of the Osage and Caddo. So in short, Oklahoma is a very complicated place. My visual description is that I have brown skin, very long, very dark blue-black hair. I'm wearing a gray V-neck as well as these awesome beaded fringe earrings from the Seminole Nation that like to turn around. So that is the buckskin, that's the front. My apologies, they don't behave. And I am sitting in front of a virtual background that goes from dark blue, ombre, light blue, white, that has the Groundwater Arts logo on one side, and in the far little corner, which you may not be able to read, but don't worry, I got you. It says Groundwater Arts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, groundwaterarts@gmail.com, and hashtag Green New Theater. My access needs are currently being met. And other than that, I'll pass it over to Anna.
Hey, thank you, Tara. So my name is Anna Lathrop. My pronouns are she, her, hers. As a visual description, I'm a white woman with long blonde hair that is currently down, wearing a beige shirt with a black blazer and a silver necklace, sitting in front of the same background that Tara just described. And I'm calling in from the lands of the Lenape, Canarsie, and Nyack peoples, colonially known as Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, which is between Upper New York Bay and Nyack Bay. Currently, my access needs are being met, and I'm going to throw it over to Annalisa.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. My name is Annalisa Diaz. I use she, her pronouns, and I am calling from the traditional lands of Piscataway Nation, colonially known as Baltimore, Maryland. and I'm by the waters of the Chesapeake Bay. And these lands here have also been cared for by the Susquehannock, Lenape, Lumbee, and many indigenous nations who are still here in Baltimore today. As a visual description, I am a brown-skinned woman with long black hair that's currently tied back, and I'm wearing a teal and green and yellow headband situation, and I have a bright purple pink lip going on. And I'm sitting in front of the same virtual background that you heard Tara describe. And at the moment, my access needs are that I'm feeling a little under the weather, so you might hear me coughing a little bit, so I beg your patience if I need a moment. I'm also sharing screen and doing some virtual facilitation on the back end, so if my attention is split, again, I beg your patience. But I am here with you and fully present. And I also want to just mention that Ronnie Pinoy, who is Laguna Pueblo and Cherokee, our fellow co-founder of Groundwater Arts, could not join us this afternoon, but she is a major part of our Captain Planet team. And the three of us will bring as much of her wisdom into this room with us as we can. And so with that, Tara, let's dive on in.
Yes. So the question, what are you walking away with? What should you expect during this session? Well, first, we're going to collect some information from you all about what your barriers to divesting from the fossil fuel industry are. Then we'll give a little context about the Green New Theater and its sixth principle, which is, no surprise, immediate divestment from fossil fuels, interest, and sponsorships. Then we'll get real clear on what social license to operate means and what it has to do with all of us as theater people. Then y'all buckle up. We're gonna play a game and see if we can collectively arrive at solutions to the barriers you've all brought up. So, congratulations, you showed up to this session and now you're part of the Divest to Invest team. So if you walk away with nothing else, you should walk away with this at the very least. We are more powerful than we think. If you attended the opening keynote last week, you might remember Eric Liu saying something similar. We love reoccurring themes. With that, I'm gonna throw it over now back to Annalisa for our Mentimeter participation.
Great, and for those of you who are here with us in the Zoom room, I just dropped a link in the chat to a Mentimeter where if you click on that link, you should see a question, which basically is like, what are the barriers that you encounter when you're trying to divest from, when you personally or your institution is trying to divest from fossil fuels? And we're looking for anything that gets in the way. We're going to look for, Anna and I on the back end are going to look for reoccurring themes, and then we're going to share them back out with you, maybe in our game show. And HowlRound, I just learned, the HowlRound audience has it too, so everyone can participate. It's amazing. We love access. So we'll give you a few minutes to do that, and you can actually keep, I think you should be able to participate more than once in there. If you have more than one barrier, you should be able to enter many things. And you can do that throughout the time that we're going to go over the Green New Theater. I'm going to turn it to Anna in just a minute. So feel free to enter as many barriers as you want. And then Anna and I will collect them on the back end and we will reintroduce them into the space during our game show. Anna, over to you to chat about the Green New Theater.
I would love to. If you don't mind sharing your slides again. So Green New Theater, you've heard of it. What is it? So it's a movement building document that outlines regenerative strategies for US-based theaters and theater workers to contribute to a just transition. What is a just transition, you might ask? A just transition is, so this definition is from our friends at the Climate Justice Alliance. And a just transition is a vision-led, unifying, and place-based set of principles, processes, and practices that build economic and political power to shift from an extractive economy to a regenerative economy. So just just transition describes both where we are going and how we got there. So if I could get next slide, please. So after centuries of global plunder, the profit-driven industrial economy rooted in patriarchy and white supremacy is severely undermining the life support systems of the planet. Whew. Transition is inevitable, but justice is not.
If we learned anything the last year, we know transition is inevitable and justice is not. Thank you, Anna. So the Green New Theater document itself was created in collaboration with a wide array of perspectives that center Black, Indigenous, people of color, and disabled people as those who are the folks on the front line of climate change and have been leading climate justice movements for decades. The document itself models community accountability, and you can read all of the names of all of the wonderful people who volunteered their time and expertise to this document on our website, which we will drop a link whenever someone has access to it. Throughout 2020, we held a series of public working calls to unpack each principle of the Green New Theater, and those recordings of those calls are available on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, as well as on HowlRound. And so if we could have that slide, please, of what are the 6 principles. They are so much suspense: community accountability, public transparent budgeting, decolonized leadership principles, sustainable resources, right relationship to land and history, and immediate divestment from fossil fuel interests and sponsorships. So I'm going to throw it over to Annalisa.
Yes, immediate divestment from fossil fuel sponsorships and interests. So that sounds great, but you might be asking yourself, what am I supposed to do about that? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to narrate what I'm doing while I do it. And so as you may have guessed from the title or description of today's session, or from what we've already talked about today, we're focusing this whole session on immediate divestment from fossil fuel interests and sponsorships, because it is time to invest in an equitable, thriving future, y'all. We need to divest from systems that don't serve us and invest in the futures that do. Now, okay, it may seem like a leap that divesting the arts sector could have a meaningful impact in the United States, but researchers and activists agree that this is a key strategy for change. Fossil free champions it, that dismantling the fossil fuel industry's social license to operate through the work of cultural organizations is one of the campaign's 3 key strategies. And now I'm going to narrate how I'm going to share my screen one more time. Okay, so I just said, let me say that again. Dismantling the fossil fuel industry's social license to operate through the work of cultural organizations is one of Fossil Free's 3 key campaign strategies. And just to say too, Groundwater Arts and our Divest to Invest campaign has joined the international global fossil free movement. So we are part of a movement. And now obviously the arts don't exist in a vacuum, and arts workers aren't doing this, aren't divesting alone, but we do have a unique role to play. And our role in a global just transition away from fossil fuels hinges on dismantling the fossil fuel industry's social license to operate. Now, as you can see on our lovely slide designed by Anna, social license to operate refers to the perceptions of the public that a project, company, or industry is socially acceptable or legitimate. The fossil fuel industry garners this license through extensive philanthropic giving and sponsorships. So ExxonMobil, for instance, while being the 4th largest polluter in the world, is one of the most charitable corporate donors also in the world. In 2019, it gave $2 million to arts and culture organizations. Another example is Shell, that is the lead sponsor for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. You can even go to Shell's website, which says, and I quote, "People know us and trust us. Jazz Fest is a big part of how we earn that trust." Okay, so my friends, this is the problem before us. And I'm going to hand it back over to Tara to talk more about the Groundwater Arts Divest to Invest campaign.
So, the fossil fuel industry depends on continued extraction from and violence against the earth, and disproportionately creates collateral damage in Black, Indigenous, people of color communities around the world. We are not sacrifice zones for the fossil fuel industry or for the theater. For far too long, the United States theaters have given the fossil fuel industry a social license to operate, a pass on the harm that they have called people and the planet, which I will add is quite contradictory to all of these anti-racism statements and initiatives theaters be trying to do. So we ain't gonna allow that no more. We are launching a movement to end the grasp fossil fuels has over our communities and our theaters. So often, arts institutions and artists accept funds that do not align with their values because who else will give us the money? How can we fight for racial and climate justice and accept funds from industry that harm BIPOC and the planet? How can we pat ourselves on the back for being progressive or anti-racist when we name our theaters after oil tycoons and continue to accept sponsorships from fossil fuel companies? Just to really lay it in there, y'all, if you trying to hire me, an Indigenous artist, any other Indigenous artist, while taking fossil fuel funds as part of your look at me, we're so anti-racist, you can't do it. Because the fossil fuel industry literally kills, capital K, kills our peoples. So we obviously can't do that. Hey, Lisa?
Okay, yes, Tara, 100%. Now, Anna and I are on the back end here looking at some of the barriers that y'all mentioned. So we know that divesting is hard. We see a lot of barriers, and you spend some time putting those barriers into this Mentimeter. Well, okay, surprise, surprise. We're going to talk about strategies, ideas, and tactics to overcome some of these barriers. There is so much collective wisdom in this room, and together we're going to tackle the barriers that we've identified. But we aren't going to go into breakout rooms or launch into a facilitated discussion. That's not the Groundwater way. Oh no.
Hello, and welcome. Bet you didn't know we're doing a game show. Hello, welcome everyone to the game show called We Got You. I'm your host, Tara Moses, and I'm very excited to bring this game show here to TCG and all of you. Cue audience applause. All right, now, here are the rules of the game. We will repeat one of the obstacles that you all have shared, and we will put 3 minutes on the clock to popcorn as many solutions to these obstacles as possible. You can use the chat or use the raise hand feature, and we will call out your name. Remember, there's only 3 minutes on the clock for everyone to offer an answer. So be concise, think quick, and also think lots of strategies, lots of different ideas. There's so much wisdom in the room, so throw them out. So the final rule is when you are called on, be sure to say, I got you, and present your idea. So are we ready to play? We got you. Yes. All right. Now, don't worry, y'all. We're here to take care of you. I'm a very kind host. So we're going to start with a practice round. Here is the obstacle. Are we ready? Cue dramatic music. We only have one sound cue, y'all. You know, we only do so much. Anyway, the obstacle. I am attached to my plant babies, but my boss hates all plants and I have to go back into the office full time. What do I do? Who got me? All right, y'all, give you just a second. What are your solutions? How can I keep attached to my plant babies even though I have to go into the office and my boss hates plants? All right, 3 minutes on the clock. Raise hand, drop in the chat. Ready and go. We have 3 minutes. Who here? Anyone? Feel free, don't be shy. Raise your hand. My poor plant babies. They are dying as we speak. Time is a ticking. Who has a solution? Ooh, Karen got me. Explain to your boss over lunch how plants help everyone. Ooh, Margaret agrees. Ooh, thank you, thank you. Who else got me? Ooh, Kita got me. Take a photo and make it your Zoom background. Ooh, I like it, I like it. Who else? Oh, we have a hand raised. Annalisa.
I got you, Tara. Put a disguise on your plant and make it not look like a plant so that and fool your boss.
We love it. Fool my boss. All right, Lisa Portis, she got me. I don't think your boss can fire you for plans. So bring him on. Ooh, we love a good HR scandal. Thank you, Lisa. All right, who else got me? We have 2 whole minutes, y'all. We have so many solutions. Ooh, Ryan got me. Make your boss a big salad out of your garden to change their mind. Oh, that's smart. I mean, whew, I don't know if I can eat my plant babies, but that's pretty good. I think I can sacrifice some. It's all right. It's good for the team. Good for the team. That's a great idea. Thank you, Ryan. Who else got me? Who else got ideas? These plant babies, think of them. They're like your children. They're my children. Ooh, Allie. Allie got me. Make your boss pay for a plant sitter. You know what? I like it. We are here for caregiver accessibility across the board. Thank you, Allie. All right, all right, all right. How we feeling? How we feeling? Okay. I'm going to stop our timer a little bit early here. Y'all gave so many ideas in just 2 minutes. Amazing. Look at all y'all go. All right. So that's the name of the game. That's all it is. Think on our feet, throw out some ideas, and maybe, just maybe, you'll leave with a renewed sense of how you can overcome some of these obstacles. So now it's time to play this round, but thinking specifically of divestment. So we understand, big obstacles, big challenges. But so what we're going to do is that the ladies of Groundwater will do a round with what divestment barriers could potentially look like. So if we're ready, we got you. All right. I have my 3 minutes on the clock. In the obstacle 1, I have executives in fossil fuel companies on my board. What do I do? Who got me? Time starts now. Go, Annalisa, go.
I got you. I'm going to advocate for term limits on my organization's board members.
Yes, Anna, go.
Girl, I got you. I'm going to ask my board member directly to step down because I'm the artistic director and I have a relationship with that person.
Oh, that's awesome. Ooh, and Lisa, go.
I got you. I'm going to pressure my artistic director to live up to our organization's recent anti-racism accountability statements by making it real clear that climate justice equals racial justice and we have to divest.
Ooh, I love that. We love a good value pressure. Ooh, Anna.
I got you. If my leadership doesn't advocate for the dismissal of the board member, I'm going to develop an exit strategy for myself and empower my colleagues to do the same.
Ooh, we love that. All right, we're going to stop the clock here. So, Facilitator Tara is back. Hello, much more calm. Look what we just did, y'all. Small is all. And so if you're finding yourself fighting internally that it isn't possible at your organization, think about what could get you to a yes. Today, what we're doing is that we're trying to find the yeses. And again, a board member, like that's one of the many obstacles a lot of you mentioned. That's a big obstacle. I mean, but even something as simple as term limits, as let me talk to my superior about our values and see if they can get to that solution themselves. If you're the artistic leader and if you have a relationship, maybe start by talking about values that the organization has that theoretically this board member also supports, and see if we can move to that solution together. So that's just the name of the game, y'all. Feel good? Are we ready to do it?
Tara, can I jump in as facilitator Annalisa?
Yes, and facilitator Anna, anything?
I just wanted to name something that we're doing, which is trying to find multiple solutions to any given obstacle. And for those of you who have any background in theater of the oppressed, yes, we are borrowing from forum theater techniques here, because we are theater people after all. And so part of the reasoning for that is that there's not one solution to any given problem. And you heard in the practice round that Anna and I just were raising our hands for, that we named that that we had different positional powers. So that's it's also true that many people in this room are coming from different positional powers and different places and different organizations with different relationships. So solutions that work for one organization or one individual might not work for someone else. So we're just trying to name as many solutions as possible and get to that yes that Tara mentioned.
Facilitator Anna, anything to add?
Nope, go ahead, Facilitator Tara.
Okay, well, Facilitator Tara is now dead to us. Game show Tara is back. All right. Now this time, y'all, it's time for you to participate. So once again, let's go over the rules one more time. Please raise your hand for the sake of facilitation if you would like to verbally give your response, or drop into the chat and I will verbalize that for you. But all right, we have 3 minutes on the clock. And again, these obstacles are taken from the ones that you all just gave us. I will now pause to transition ASL interpreters. Great. See, I got you too. All right, 3 seconds on the clock. Obstacle. I'm not sure how to get started in divesting. Once more, my obstacle is I'm not sure how to get started in divesting. All right. Thank you, Anna, for dropping into the chat. Time starts now. Who's ready? We got 3 minutes on the clock. Raise your hand, drop into the chat. Who got me? Ooh, Karen got me. Contact Groundwater Arts. Yes, we got you. Thank you, Karen. Who else got me? What are some ideas? I'm not sure how to get started. There's so much. Raven Theater got me. Reach out to colleagues and ask who else is thinking about this and form a learning circle. Ooh, we love this. Ooh, Ryan got me. If you have retirement funds, check fossilfreefunds.org to see what portfolios you can invest in that are fossil free. Wow, awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. Lisa Portis got me too. As an organization, research your funders and find out where your funding dollars are coming from. Ooh, we do love some research. We do love that. It's a great way to get started. All right, all right. Who else got me? Any other thoughts? Kita got me. Move to investing your organization endowment with a social justice screen. Ooh, yes. All right, y'all. We have a little under 1 minute and 43 seconds on the clock. Let's keep thinking creatively. How else can we get started? Who else got me? What are some other thoughts? If I had the rights to the Jeopardy music, you can play that in your brains right now, but we are live streaming. Great. How else do I get started in divesting? We have contacting Groundwater, reaching out to colleagues, asking who else is thinking about this and form a learning circle. If you have retirement funds, check fossilfree.org. See what portfolios to invest in that are fossil free. As an org, research your funders. Find out where your funding dollars are coming from. Move to investing in your organization endowment with a social justice screen. Oh, we got another one. Karen got me. Talk with climate change organizations. Yes, we love that. Let's expand our community. There are folks doing this work who can help you and help move us all towards a just future. Yes, thank you so much, Karen. All right. We got 20 seconds. Ooh, here we go. Ooh, I love it. Kita got me. Add a line in your budget to support environmental justice organizations. Ooh, we love that. All right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right.
Has anybody noticed that game show Tara is like kind of Matthew McConaughey?
You know, we just both have a Southern accent.
She's over here like, all right.
You know.
I mean, I'm here for it. I just am like noticing I needed to say, and it's amazing.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. I am being seen and read by everyone. Oh, I almost had it all right again. Okay, well, we're back. Sorry, now I'm just like flustered. All right, here we go. We're back. All right, round 2, obstacle number 2. My obstacle is I am suffering from scarcity mindset. I'm worried about losing donors, money, how much it'll cost, so on and so forth. So the obstacle is I'm suffering from scarcity mindset. I'm scared about losing donors or any other money, as well as additional expenses, so on and so forth. Speaking slowly in case we want to drop it into the chat. Thank you, Anna. All right, the clock has restarted. Who got me? Obstacle number 2, and go. Who's ready? Who's ready? Ooh, a big obstacle. Let me tell you. Scarcity mindset. What am I going to do? Who has ideas? Who has strategies? Anybody? Anyone? Again, raise hand feature. Put it in the chat. Again, if we had the Jeopardy theme show music copyright, do 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 do. I'll just sing it. But who got me? Who got me? I'm suffering from a scarcity mindset. Who got me? Facilitator Tara, here's a hint. Have we heard of the abundance mindset? Oh, TCG Natalie got me. Lose the donors. Your values are worth it. Ooh, do we love those ideas? Margaret got me. Embrace abundance. There will be other funders, grants, and donors. Ooh, the chat's on fire. Who will come forward precisely because you divest. Ain't that the truth? Lisa got me. Feng Shui says new gifts won't come until you get rid of things that clog the flow. Ooh, I love this. Let's reframe how we think. Karen got me. Use this mindset in writing grant proposals. Who might replace the funds you are scared of losing? Yes, let's channel that energy with new funders. Kita got me. In the same way that your divestment portfolio should be diversified, so should your audience, and your new audience will be increased by those who have the same values. Oh, I love this. Andres got me. Take the jump and you'll see someone else got you. Ain't that right? Don't we love the cycle of who got who? All right, another Allie got me. Start talking to your non-fossil fuel donors and see who's excited by divesting and will help you fill the gap. Yes, y'all got me. Ooh, that was so fast. All right, we have about another like 10 seconds or so on the clock. If there's anyone who's sitting, who's ready to participate, don't worry, we got you. It's a safe space. Throw out your ideas. Give you just one last chance. Anyone? All right. Every time. Damn it. Great round 2, everybody. Okay, we're just gonna do 1 or 2 more for our session here, and then we gonna chat a little bit more. So our next one is from this Google Doc obstacle. My theater is in a fossil fuel industry monopoly town. I have some place-based scarcity because all the philanthropy comes from extractive industries. I'm going to condense that. Obstacle. All of the philanthropy in my area comes from extractive industries. I don't know who to reach out to. Here's our obstacle. All the philanthropy in my area comes from extractive industries. I don't know where else to reach out to. That is our obstacle. And oh, is that real? Facilitator Tara, dealing with this right now. Game show, Tara. I got myself, and I hope y'all got me too. So the clock is about to start. Obstacle. All of the philanthropy in my area comes from extractive industries. I don't know where else to reach out. Who got me? All right. Who got me? What are our ideas? When you live in a place where the name of the game is fossil fuel blood money, what do I do? Who got me? Yeah, very tough obstacle. But don't worry, I ain't here out to drown. I know there are some of you who figure this out. Who has ideas? Who got me? Ooh, Karen got me. Market that you are divesting from fossil fuels and see who comes to you. That is right. Just because the fossil fuel industry got the biggest voice don't mean there ain't others being silenced. Thank you, Karen. Karen got me. Who else?
Can I jump in as like game show Annalisa and say, yeah. Karen, that's right on, and celebrating our wins, celebrating every time another organization divests is a campaign strategy. And that's what if you go to the Groundwater Arts Instagram page right now, you'll see a whole list of individuals and institutions that have made commitments to divest. So thank you, Karen, for naming that strategy.
Yes. Thank you, game show / participant / facilitator, and Elisa. Who else got us? What do we do when all the philanthropy comes from extractive industries? How can we divest? Who else got ideas?
Tara, what did you do?
Well, what I did, this is interesting. Game show Tara and facilitator Tara are fighting inside. But what I did is had a very frank conversation with my board about our values, and that we cannot be a theater company specifically dedicated to Native and Latino people when the fossil fuel industry deliberately kills those people. And what we decided was to completely 180 overhaul of our funding structure as well as our programming structure. If we could no longer do 4 shows regularly a season, as well as host a fellowship program without fossil fuel money, then we weren't going to have 4 shows a season or a fellowship program. Instead, we're going to commit to 1 to 2 shows a season that are fully funded from members of our community, from non-extractive industries, and just completely reshake the structure of our theater. Because at the end of the day, we cannot, nor could we at that time, say that we ethically serve Native and Latino people when we're taking money from an industry that does the exact opposite. There was no way we could exist morally or ethically. That's what we did. So there's some more.
And can I reframe that too a little bit, Tara? It's not just about we're taking money from, it's about we're giving them social license to operate. That's the thing. It's like we're supporting them, not just we're getting money from. And because when you say we're taking money from, that means that to me signals like, well, it's not so bad because like they're helping us. But what the other side of that coin is, what are we giving them by accepting this money?
Especially when they asked my organization and my organization alone, of all the organizations they like to support, to send them photos for their website, because they wanted Black and brown faces on their website to say, we're not so bad. Look, we support Natives and Latino people. That's where that came from. Anyway, Anyone else have any ideas? Any ideas? Who got us? Who got us? I know, big, scary. What do we do? What do we do? Also, for context, that theater I'm talking about is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There are a lot of places around this country that are plagued by the fossil fuel industry. Think about the Gulf Coast, right? Think about a lot of big theaters in New York City. Think about that. What do you do? Who got me? Who got me? Does anyone got me? One more, just one more, y'all. One more. Who got me? I'm out to see who has a buoy. Who's gonna throw me one? Who got me? One more, just one more idea. Anyone? One more. That's all we're asking for. Thank you, Kita got me. Find other organizations to share cost and reduce the need for their money. Yes, we love to see it. A collaboration that is awesome. Oh, we love it. Thank you so much, Kita. All right, all right, all right. Shit. Every time. Okay. Last round on the clock. Last round, last obstacle round. Oh, be ready. Y'all are doing such a wonderful job. So many great ideas. So I'm sure y'all got me. Y'all got me. Obstacle. There is a lack of transparency from funders, from where our money comes from. I don't know if I'm even invested in fossil fuels. Once again, the obstacle, the very last obstacle of today's game show in our 30-minute segment is there is a lack of transparency from our funders and where our money comes from. I don't even know if we're divested, if we're even invested in fossil fuels. So what do? Who got me? The clock is reset here. And oh, here we go, right off the gate. Devin got me. If there's a lack of transparency, assume you are invested. That's a great place to start, y'all. And y'all, fossil fuel, they go so deep. They go so deep. They're everywhere. I can guarantee it probably is. Thank you, Devin. Devin got me. Who else got me? Who else got me? What do? I don't know where my funders' money comes from. I don't know. What do I do about this lack of transparency? Who got me? Again, feel free, raise a hand, drop it in the chat, whichever works for you. All right, great. Who got me? What do we do? Karen got me. Make an announcement to funders that you're looking to divest and ask them to pull funding if it's fossil fuels. Ooh, I like that. Let's talk about the social license to operate for funders. They got it too. They got it too. Oh, and we got a ditto from Lisa. 2 people got me. Yes, we love to see it. Who else got me? What do we do with this lack of transparency? Margaret got me. Have your board/development manager reach out to ask for specifics. If they don't provide details, let them know you won't be continuing to accept funding from them and that you will urge others to do the same. Let me tell you something about foundations. I work in nonprofit fundraising. They can't handle a single negative PR moment. That's a great idea. Thank you, Margaret. Margaret, you got me. Also, facilitator Tara jumping in. There are these places where you can research for free on the internet where foundations get their money. So back to game show, Tara. Who got me? Who got me? What are things I can do about this lack of transparency? Let's try to get at least 2 more ideas, just 2 more. Who got me? Who got me? I need 2 more buoys, just two. Yeah, what are some ideas from funders? Where does our money even come from? Who can I talk to? Is there anyone you can talk to? What can you do? What are ideas? So I just see Anna, Lisa and Anna laughing at me. Come on, y'all. I believe in you. Just 2 more ideas. Also for folks at home at HowlRound, watch. HowlRound gonna have so many comments. They know what's up. I believe in you all at home too. You all be participating. But folks here in the Zoom, 2 more, just 2 more. What are 2 more ideas? I wonder. Anna and Lisa, any of y'all got me?
Yeah, I got you. If it's a lack of transparency around like where your retirement account is invested, then you can reach out to somebody in your like HR department or your finance office or whoever controls your, whoever manages your investment accounts for your organization, and have a conversation with them to see if they have the information about where those funds are invested.
Thank you, Annalisa. That is a great thing. Okay, one more, y'all. Literally, one more, just one more. Who got me? Who got me? One more idea. And again, remember, small is all. Oh, Lisa, thank you throwing me that buoy. Lisa got me. Set up a funding model wherein transparency is a condition for funding your fabulous organization. And we got a ditto from Devin. Oh, yes, I love the +1. Amazing. Publicly transparent budgeting, y'all. Lifting up Anna from the chat. It's like they're all interrelated. Who'd have thunk? Definitely not Groundwater Arts and all the people we reached out to. All right. Well, into the game. Great job, everybody. Thank you for coming to the first, hopefully not only, installment of I Got You, a new game show of how we can strategize ideas to help attack these big barriers. Because again, as I quote one more time, our favorite Adrienne Marie Brown, small is all. The smallest idea, the smallest action towards overcoming a barrier can make all of the difference. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, TCG, Natalie. All right. I'm just always gonna think about it.
You're just pulling Matthew McConaughey.
No. All right. Well, Facilitator Tara is back. Game show / Matthew McConaughey Tara is gone. So hello.
Okay, I'm gonna leave my background up for the moment because I'm about to share my screen again. But y'all, don't look now, but we did it. We thought of strategies to help overcome complicated barriers. So let me share with you this little magic that Anna and I were working on while y'all were chatting with Tara. So this is our Mentimeter of all of the solutions, ideas, and strategies that this group proposed. And TCG friends, I will share the link to this in that Padlet so it's accessible to everyone for now and for always. But look at all the, I'm like amazed at how many ideas were shared in just this 30 minutes. So thank you for being so generative with us. Anna, over to you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so energized from all this. This game is so much fun. I'm so glad we invented it like 3 days ago. So, right, we just heard all of these strategies. We just heard all these ideas, and it's like, okay, I get that, but I'm still not totally convinced of the power of the arts to like shift divesting, even though I've now heard about social license to operate. Well, here I'm gonna come in with some money and some numbers for those of us who love that. I'm one of them. So in 2017, the US Bureau of Economic Analysis outlined in its annual Arts and Cultural Production Satellite account, they need a much better name for that the full breadth of nonprofit and commercial performing arts was a $730 billion industry. That's billion with a B, $730 billion. While the United States nonprofit theater complex is a subset of that, just imagine the shift we could make if theaters and theater workers, that's us on this call, that's all y'all at home, what is the shift we could make if we divested from extractive industries? So if theater workers and theaters took a public stand, we could put pressure on museums, symphonies, festivals, other arts institutions, media, entertainment, Hollywood, all of them, who could then put more pressure on others. This $730 billion industry could ultimately take a stand. I want you to sit, and I know that we're all energized with facilitator Matthew McConaughey Tara. I am. But I want you to sit and I want you to just imagine the cracks we could make in the fossil fuel industry social license to operate, because we all know that social pressure is powerful. We're seeing it right now. We're seeing it on social media. We're seeing it in so many different topics. And you don't, I mean, even if you're like, yeah, and I don't really believe you. Well, you can believe Tina Rosenberg, who's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist and author of Join the Club, How Peer Pressure Can Transform the World. She knows what she's talking about, who saw this pressure work firsthand from student-led resistance groups in former Yugoslavia to teenagers in Florida. She argues that the greatest motivator of defiance to authority comes from one's peers. Are we in the arts, and we in the arts are persuasive storytellers? Are we not? So we're going to ask you right now, today, to join the Divest to Invest campaign, because now you're part of the team, you're part of our community. So we are going to drop this pledge into the chat, and Tara is going to encourage you all to sign it, and then we're gonna open it up for a little Q&A because we got some time left.
Okay, pulling up this link here. Thank you. So this is what you're seeing on the screen share is the Groundwater Arts website, where you can read more about the Divest to Invest campaign, as well as that big, beautiful link button that says sign the pledge. But luckily for you all, it's in the chat. As soon as I don't accidentally send it to Anna, it is in the chat right now. It is a Google Doc. So what we're asking folks to do, again, we're here for those easy yeses, is that we are presenting 3 pledges for organizations and 3 pledges for individuals. So you can choose the pledge, combination of pledges that is feasible for you to say yes to right now. So for an individual, there is a contract clause that is very long that you can read in there. But basically what you're advocating for as an individual artist is in future contracts, you're going to add a clause that your fee cannot come from any money from the fossil fuel industry from that theater. And so what that does is that there's a lot of us who have that contract language that we offer. Theaters are going to get the idea that if they want to work with all of us amazing individual artists, and if all of us amazing individual artists are like, nah, brah, you can't fund me from fossil fuel industries, it's in my contract, as well as really pressuring SDC and Arts Equity and USA. Don't worry, we're in the process. Anyway, of formally supporting this, theaters are gonna get the memo that they can't be doing this no more. So again, this is a small action that could lead to a lot of impact. The second one we're asking individuals to consider is divesting your personal funds from fossil fuel industries. So like retirement mutual fund accounts. There are a lot of great ideas during the game show about like, well, look at your personal funds, your retirement funds. So you can make a pledge today to research and start that process. And then the last one that we are proposing for individuals is pledging to join a local climate justice organization who are working towards divestment by offering theatrical skills, direct action, so on and so forth. Y'all, we got so many skills. And just as a quick anecdote, if you're thinking, well, I'm just a theater person, this is a big movement, they know what they're doing. Well, I'll have you know that in 2017, I got the city of Tulsa to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day because I put on a show. And during that show, I handed out his personal email and phone number to all the audience members, as well as a template of what to say about how this is literally Native land. Tulsa is literally on the Muskogee Creek Reservation. We can't be doing this. And it worked. It only took 2 months of pressuring and creating this climate justice movement through theater that made change. So y'all, your stage management skills, your directing skills, your writing skills, all of it can come in handy. Now, for those of you who are with an institution, now we understand you may need to go back to your board, so on and so forth. But for the institution, we pledge to accept no new fossil fuel sponsorships. So what that means is, we may get money right now from BP, but we're making a pledge that we're not going to go after Shell. We're not going to go after oil tycoon man. I don't want to name by person because he may find me. We're just going to keep our current ones and no more. The next one is that you're divesting from all fossil fuel sponsorships. So your longtime BP funder, we ain't asking them for money no more. And then the last one is pledging to divest our endowment from fossil fuel funds, which if you get any pushback from your board, there are so many other options you can go into, way more now than there have been the past 10 years. So y'all, it ain't no excuse. There ain't no scarcity of where to invest your endowment no more. Anyway, so those are the pledges that we're asking folks to take. Anyway, so y'all, today, don't worry, we gonna know. Make a commitment today, especially as an individual, if you feel so moved, if you want to be anti-racist, if you want to invest in a just future. Just one. That's all we're asking for today. Just one. All right. Great. Okay. You all should feel adequately pressured if we did our jobs right. So we have about 10 minutes. Is that correct? Yes. No, we have more than that. We have 15. Look at that. Grandma time. She got us. Anyway, so we have about 15 minutes. And so we want to spend this last 15 minutes just opening it up for a discussion from all of y'all. So if anyone has any questions, or if anyone has already signed the Divest to Invest pledge and you want to share your win, share what that's been like, absolutely do. But again, with that, we'll use the raise hand feature, real chill, so we know who to call on, vocalize anything in the chat. But this is our time together as our little community we made. We always have to say, we don't find silences to be awkward at all. So if you're sitting there feeling uncomfortable, it's fine. Lean into it. It's okay. We just want to offer this up for anyone if they have a lingering question, or if you thought of like a new idea to any of the obstacles, because we also understand that some folks need a little bit more time and aren't as great as thinking on their feet, or just aren't as efficient or so. Anyway, anyone who wants to share any wins about what you've done to divest.
I can share my win. I thought, so a couple of years ago, I changed my personal investments into social good funds that I asked a banker at the place I bank with to help me find, and he did. And so I had moved my money into that. And then I looked it up on fossilfreefunds.org, and I found out that not only was I invested in fossil fuels, I was also invested in weapons manufacturing and private prisons, which was a problem. And of course, climate justice involves all of these issues. So I ended up moving my investments into totally different funds that are not exposed in any of those that I found on fossilfreefunds.org.
Thank you, Anna. We love to celebrate the wins. Yeah. Yes. We got some applause from Ryan. Yes, we celebrate. So there may be some of you who are sitting there thinking, I'm an individual artist. I don't know what I can even do. Well, a win that I want to share with my fellow individual artists, well, I'm also with an institution, but with lots of hats, is that when I was recently interviewing for a position as the artistic director of a 30-year-old institution, during the interview process, I brought up the Groundwater Arts Divest to Invest campaign, as well as brought up how this theater, which serves specifically Native people, how I could not ethically be part of an organization that does that, and also really questioned how an organization like that one, again, who's been serving Native youth for 30 years, could accept fossil fuel industry money, especially after the Dakota Access Pipeline, after what's happening at Bears Ears right now, so on and so forth. This was during the interview. And so y'all, when they offered me the position, I reminded them, great, we're going to have to divest. That was part of it. And they're like, you know what? We know. And so y'all, you may have, you have a lot of power when it comes to the interview process. And so we just want to further reiterate that even when you're interviewing, you can lead with your values. And if that theater really wants you, they're going to change. And spoiler, do they want you? Yes, they do. But awesome. Cool. Anything else? Anna, Lisa, Anna?
The last thing I'll add, and then I actually wonder if maybe we all have some found time back to our day and we can end a little early. And as Tara always says, time is a relative. So I'm sure y'all want this time, you can use this time for something else. But the one thing that I'll share, so in one of the hats that I wear at Baltimore Center Stage, which is a large regional theater in Baltimore, I know that sometimes the process of divestment can be a whole process at these large institutions, because it's like, you know, Tara just talked about an experience where she did have the power to like make a sort of demand basically herself and like got the institution to move. I don't, in my position, I don't have the power, and I actually don't know that any one person, because of the way that the large regional theaters are structured, I don't actually think any one single person could make that kind of a demand. So it takes like a lot of conversations and a lot of different like levers to push. But I will say that I know that our development team is actively talking about what kinds of commitments BCS could make. And that in and of itself at a large regional theater feels like a win to me, that there's like real conversation happening within our development team who is in close connection with our board. And I know that our finance committee of our board is also, I'm told, actively thinking about where our funds are invested. And I understand that they're starting to do an audit of that with the intention of thinking about social responsibility. So that in and of itself feels like a big win. And I don't know what timeline I'm hoping that by the end of the year, some determination will be made, but like, it's like, you just got to go talk to your development people and like, tell them why this is important, and tell them why, especially if you're at one of these theaters that made an anti-racism statement, then like, we got to look at where the money's coming from. We got to. So I'll just share that it sometimes is more possible than you think. You just have to talk to the right people.
Yeah, well, thank you all so much for joining us today and creating our little community, as well as joining the Divest to Invest growing and booming, robust community. And again, just one more time to throw back to the opening of the conference last week. We all have so much power, so much more than we think. We can move the theater forward towards justice, away from extractive industries, and towards a future that we all want to be in, that benefit all of us. So again, thank you all so much. Mado, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of the conference. See y'all later. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, everybody. Just a reminder to go ahead and fill out that feedback form in the chat. That helps us at TCG a lot. And a big thank you to our interpretation team. And that's a wrap. Thank you all so much.